and the magic happens.
See, if the precipitation of precipitation is quite irrelevant to the pine trees of the woodland creatures, then where are we now? See, because there isn't such a thing that isn't so. I mean, look at all this. We're in the middle of the woods, nobody around, no houses in sight. And it's like we're in a magical hallucination of an acid trip. So, we're here in privacy, in the middle of the woods, no houses around, and so many people don't understand why we love taking a dump outside. What do you think?
Well, I think certainly through not the demonstration of most people that what would they think that wouldn't be, as with distribution of the town central and the Court Square Theater, actually the owner and the person involved with the subjugated area near there, of course, wouldn't have it any other way that you would need to have a distribution, and of course, you know, JMU as they would have it, and not what you would appear to have into what you wouldn't. That therefore, if it had not been, then you would never have known of the misfortune of the misinformation given to you by the United States government. But having said that, in correlation with the NSA paper distribution of 1974, and interjecting with the climax of the rigid mountain creatures of the Antarctic, and of course for some undistributed pacemakers of the 21st century and soon to be 22nd. Of course, the most likely dangers of the 16th, 14th century, the subjugated views of some of the nature films made by the 1960s racist society has delightfully portrayed our future of the days to come. So back to you on what you feel about this.
Well, purple is naturally an aesthetic pink. If you're college educated and know what I mean. But if you're a retarded average citizen, then you're not going to know what the fuck I'm talking about. I don't want to talk to you anyway. But anyway, the lysergic acid of orange is not the same as the pink that's done in Albert Einstein's painting of 1912. Anyway, so say, for example, the clouds are the shade of pink. Well, the lysergic acid in that shade of pink is not the same as a shade of pink in, like, say, a child's watercolors. So, any people who decide that pink is a good color for a painting, they need to think about the lysergic acid inside of the shade. So when people are constantly talking to each other and rambling about nothing, they need to take into consideration that sometimes their bowel movements are, they just don't fit with the educated lysergic acid of the color.
Right.
Do you understand? Anyway, for example, that blue tarp there. Who knows what the lysergic acid color is in that tarp?
Or the levels of
Yeah.
the lysergic acid.
Yeah, exactly. And how many people who had orgies on that could have changed the lysergic acid levels. Increased, decreased, who knows?
And not even talking about the HPV levels
Exactly, yes.
in the liquids.
Yeah. Or the STD levels.
Right.
Yeah. So, in saying that, what's your opinion?
Well, not having heard Akira Onizuka's last album, I can't really comment on the musical influences that it has given me. I can only speak of his previous work that he has done, and say that it is very, very helpful, or I can say it has influenced me in ways that not a lot of modern day composers can do for listening to music nowadays. So I think his just his normal, I guess they'll call it jazz. I don't really know. I'm bad at labeling music, and the gum in my pocket, this whole pack of gum is starting to get soft now. I kind of wanted to chew it. I guess I'll always get 2 pieces when I chew it. But like I said, his new albums, all the stuff that I've had access to is just on YouTube. So Akira Onizuka is stuff that he's done live. I forget the names of the songs, but very lucrative to building a strong musical repertoire through compositional influences all the way to technique. So to answer your question, yes.
That's very understandable. That was a very educated answer. Many people think that in order to get the precise wording of a book, they have to somehow take a dump on the face of a kitten.
I can see how that would.
Yeah. So, if you want to do that, go find an oak tree, peel the bark off, burn it, and then say, how many peppers does the book have to take? So, what I'm trying to say is, if a shade tree doesn't provide shade, and it doesn't provide fruit, and it doesn't have leaves, you consider it to be dead, and you chop it down and use it as firewood. So, why keep all these people around that are just kind of aimlessly roaming around? Why don't we take people who are kind of aimlessly roaming around and put a bullet in their head?
There's a good answer for that.
Yeah. What's your opinion?
Because those are people. Those are our thinkers. Those are the people who do not follow. They don't go to school and they don't listen to what's been taught to a professor, because a professor is just teaching what they've been taught. Free thinkers are someone who's not afraid to do research to find out the XYZ of the equation, and who's not afraid to do research in their life, not afraid to pick up a book and learn, not afraid to come up with an idea of their own. Like, not that that's actually a thing that you can do anymore.
Well, so there we have a homosexual over there. Over there.
Actually, the liability issues state we can't film other people.
Oh, okay.
Because the networks won't allow us.
Okay. Well, what I don't understand about people in general is, say, a stop sign. We all agree that the stop sign is red.
Right.
But how do you know that my red is the same as your red?
Right.
Say everybody sees what red is as a different color. Say my red is actually what, if you saw my red, you would see my red as your purple. Or maybe aliens.